Hello everyone, welcome to Genox Tech. My name is Stevie. So today I'm going to be explaining to us, I'm going to be teaching us how you can download a web page as PDF in React. I will repeat myself, how you can download, I'll be explaining today how you can download a web page as PDF in React. So today we're going to be using React to, I'm going to be explaining to us how you can download any web page as a PDF in React. So once you click on the download button, so it's going to download the particular page as a PDF for you. So that's what I'm going to be explaining to us. I'm going to be walking us through how you can definitely achieve that, how you can download any web page, as a PDF in React. So please, if this is your first time, you're just watching my YouTube channel, or you've not yet subscribed, you're watching my YouTube channel, you've not yet subscribed, please kindly hit the subscribe button if you have not yet subscribed, and don't forget as well to hit on the notification button so that anytime I upload interesting videos like this, you'll be the first person to get the notification. So guys, without any further ado, the first thing we have to do now, let's go into our terminal. All right, okay, let me clear my terminal, because the first thing we have to do is that we need to create a React app. So we need to create a React app. So how are we going to do that? So let's come here. So we need to say npx, okay, create dash React app. Then what's the name of our app? Let's call it PDF downloader or something. Now let's call this PDF download. Okay, let's call this. So this is how you can create a React app. So I'm expecting you to know this as a React developer, so this shouldn't be new to you anyway. But if you are new to React, so this is how you can create a new React app. So let me show you the documentation. So let's go. Okay, this is a documentation, REACTJS.org. So this is where you can find the documentation how you can create a new React app. So when you come down here and you read all of these explanations there, so you see nps create React app. So this is the name of your app, but this is important. But this my app can be any name you want. So that is all what you have to do if you are new to React. So once you just have to do nps create React app, then this is the name of our app. So you hit the enter button. So once you hit the enter button, so you need to install the following packages. Yes, okay, proceed with it. So it's going to take some few seconds to download everything that we need, to get our app, our React application running. So that's what it's trying to do for us now. It's trying to install every of those dependencies. So I'm going to pause the video now and come back once our application, all those dependencies are installed. I'm going to pause the video now. All right, as you can see now, all our dependencies that we need to run our React app, we just create, they've all installed completely. So now the next we have to do now is that let's move inside this folder here. You see cd PDF download. So let's say cd PDF download. All right, so I will have to, let me clear my terminal so that we'll be able to see very well. So the next thing we have to do is that let's run yarn start. Okay, so if you are using npm, you can just say npm start, but because I'm using yarn, I'm going to say yarn start. So click on enter. So that what we want to do is that we want to run this React application on our system. So as you can see now, it's opening in my browser already. So here, this is what we have now. This is the default React application that we have. This is the landing page and all those things. So we are going to make modifications to this now very soon. So what's the next thing we have to do is that let's come back here. So we have to move inside our VS Code. So let me open another new terminal here. So I'm open this guy inside our VS Code. Okay, so now we already opened this app, this React application. We just create this PDF download inside our inside my VS Code. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is that now let me come to my app.js. I need to clear off some things. All these things we are seeing there, I need to remove them. All these this edit the default page, I have to remove it. So I just have to come here. Let me clear this right from here. Let me remove this. and then okay, let me just come here. I don't need this SVG logo, so let me remove that. Okay, so and then the next thing again is that this index CSS, well, we might leave that as well. So but this logo SVG, I'm going to delete it because we're not going to need it at all. Move to trash. Okay, so having done that, so let's just write a basic hello world here. So let's say h1. Okay, now let's say hello. Okay, hello world. All right, so and let's save and let's go back to our browser and let's see. You see we have we have our hello world here. So then it shows that everything is working perfectly well the way it's supposed to. So the next thing we have to do now is that now there are two packages we also need to install to be able to download any web page, you know, in React. So we need two packages. So if you want to download any web page in React as PDF, so we are going to install that two packages. So the number one package we have to, the number one library or package, anyone you choose to call it, that we need to install is you know, HTML2 canvas. So let's go to HTML2 canvas here. Let's click on it. So we need to install this guy here. So we're going to say yarn add HTML2 canvas. So let me come here and let me open a new terminal. Let me bring this a little bit up so I can see what I'm doing. So we're going to say yarn add. Okay, so let's make sure we spell our yarn correctly. So yarn add, we're going to say HTML2 canvas. Okay, let me see if my spelling is correct. Canvas. Okay, canvas. So we have to install this. So it's going to install canvas, HTML2 canvas inside our React application that we just create. So another application, why this guy is installing, okay, it's done already. So another package we need to install again is JSPDF. Okay, so JSPDF. So you can just go through this, what this HTML2 canvas does. So he said the script allows you to take screenshot of web pages or part of it directly on the user's browser. So the screenshot is based on the DOM and such as may not be 100% accurate to the real representation, as it does not make an actual screenshot but builds the screenshot based on the information available on the page. I think you understand that. So what this HTML2 canvas does is that it's just going to help us to take the screenshots of our web page. So but what JSPDF will do is that once HTML2 take the screenshots, immediately JSPDF will convert that screenshot to PDF. I think you understand the flow. So what HTML2 canvas does is that it will take the screenshot of the web page, but immediately JSPDF will do what? Will convert that screenshot, that image to PDF for us. So that is just the flow. Okay, all right. So let's see how we're going to install JSPDF. Okay, so let's quickly go through that as well. We have to install this. So how we're going to install JSPDF? Let's just copy this yarn add JSPDF. So let's go inside our terminal here. Let me clear this out. So okay, so I have to paste this here. So let me press enter. We need to install JSPDF package inside our React application. So while it's still installing, okay, let's come inside our source folder. Let's create a new folder. So let's call it components. All right. So let me rename it. So we have to call it components. All right. So inside these components, we need to create the function that will trigger the download. Are you getting it now? So let me close this up. So we need to inside this component now we need to create a file. So let's call it download button, or let's call it download. Yeah, we can call it download button or download PDF. Okay, let's just call it download button. Oh, sorry, let's call it download page. Sorry. So .jsx. All right. Okay, so here now let's import. Let's have to do that. Let's import React. Okay, let's import React from React. All right, so we have to say custom now download. Okay, download page. is equals to, okay, we have our arrow function here. All right, so let's return something here. Return, this is, let's say h1 as well. Let's say this is download, this is download page. Okay, this is download page. So we need to export our download page so that we'll be able to import it in our app.js. Okay, so let's say export download, export download page. Okay, export default, sorry. So we need to add default, export defaults, download page. All right, let's say this. So let's come inside our app.js. So let's import this download page. Let's say imports, okay, download page. Okay, so we are importing download page from components and from download page. So then now let's come down here and then display our download page here. Okay, so let me save. Now let's go back to our browser and see. You see now this is download page. So we've successfully able to create a component. So it is inside that component that are going to be performing the whole function. So then we are going to be calling that, we are going to be importing that download page inside our app.js. So that is just that. So now let's go back now to our download page. So the next thing we have to do is that, let me remove this guy here. Okay, so let's have a bracket here. So the next thing we want to do now is that let's first import our HTML2 canvas and JS PDF. So let's quickly do that. So let's say import HTML2 canvas. Okay, so we are importing it from HTML2 canvas. All right, so the next thing we have to do is that we need to import JS PDF as well. We need to import JS PDF. So let's say import, all right, JS PDF, okay, from, where are we importing it from? We are importing it from JS PDF, okay, JS PDF. Good. So this is where we are importing it from. So the next thing we have to do now is that we need to so this download page is going to be accepting two props. Okay, so the number one props is that it's going to be accepting the ID. So because we have to have an ID, our div, the particular page we want to download, we must give it an ID, so that it is that ID we are going to first screenshot. So once we screenshot it, then we have to convert to PDF. So it's going to accept two props. So what are the props that it's going to accept? So let's call it root elements ID. So it's going to accept this, and it's going to accept the download file name. Let's call it download. So because once we download it, we want to give that file a name. So let's call it download file name. All right, so it's going to be accepting these two props. It's going to be accepting root element ID, and it's going to be accepting download file name. Okay, so the next thing we have to do now is that let's come down here. So we have to say we have to declare a function here first. So now inside this place, let's come down here. Let's say that constant, okay, constant download. Okay, let's call it constant download file documents. Okay, constant download file documents. So we have our arrow function here. It's equals to, okay, we have our arrow function here. So this is where we'll be declaring the whole function. So the first we have to do is that constant inputs. Okay, constant input is equals to documents dots get elements by ID. I think by now you once should be familiar with this if you have been writing JavaScript. So what we want to do is that we want to get the elements by ID. So the elements we want to screenshot, that we want HTML2 canvas to screenshot, we need to get that element. We need to get that that ID. Okay, so let's say document does get element by ID. So what is the name of that ID we want to get? So the name of that ID we want to get is going to be this root. It's going to be this root element ID. Don't forget, this root element ID is the props that we are sending inside our download page. So I'm going to show you where this is going to be coming from now. All right, so let's continue with this. So the next thing we have to do is that we want to say HTML2 Okay, HTML2 canvas. Then we have to pass this input down. Say inputs. So we are passing this our inputs inside our HTML2 canvas, because this is what we want HTML2 canvas to screenshot. Okay, we're gonna say that. See, once we pass this dot then, okay, dot then, we have our callback function here. So we pass canvas. Okay, we pass canvas here. All right, then we have this here. So we pass canvas here. So the next thing we want to do is that, we want to say constant, image data. Okay, constant image data is equals to canvas. Okay, canvas dot to dot to data. Okay, dot data URL. All right, then we want to save it as image. So we want to save it as image /png. Okay, so what we are trying to do is that, now let me explain this. This input is accepting this this ID here, this document.get element by ID we are saving inside this input. So we are now passing this input inside our HTML2 canvas. So we're now trying to tell HTML2 canvas, see, this is the guy we want to screenshot. So once you screenshot it, then what is going to happen? We are saying that, okay, just make sure you convert it to an image and save it as PNG. Are you getting it now? So, and save it as PNG. All right, so the next thing we have to do is that now we have to now declare what is going to happen once we take the screenshot. We want to convert it to PDF. Don't forget that is what we want to do. We want to convert to PDF. All right, so let's proceed. So we're going to say constant, PDF. Constant PDF is equals to, you're going to say that new. Okay, so we're going to say that new JS PDF. Okay, new JS PDF. Then we want to declare the properties of the PDF. So take note of this. This is where we are going to declare if you want the PDF to be portrait. You see, it's already suggesting it for me already. If I want the PDF to be portrait, to be landscape, or depending on what you want. So I want it to be portrait. You can put P here. All right. So then the next thing we have to do is that we have to put the PT here. All right. So then we have to declare the size. What is going to be the size of the PDF? Do we want A4? Do we want do we want A3? Do we want a letter? Depending on what you want. Okay, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to put A4 here because I want A4 here. All right. So the next thing we have to do now is that once we've done that, then you have to say pdf.add. Okay, you say pdf.add image. Sorry, .add image. You see, we have it here. pdf.add image. So what do we want to add now to our PDF? We want to add the image data. Don't forget, this is the screenshots already here. So we are now saving it inside this PDF. We are converting it. We are converting it inside this PDF. I think I'm clear enough. So please, if you understand this process, just drop your question in the comment section, and I'm going to answer your question. But I will try as much as I can to explain it so that you'll be able to understand. So let me explain again. What we are trying to do here is that we are trying to use the HTML2 canvas to take the screenshots. Then once we take the screenshots, we are declaring the kind of PDF, the format, the properties we want the PDF to have. So that's what we are trying to do here. So we are now trying to say, okay, we are adding this image to this image data. We are adding it to this our PDF. All right. Okay. So now let's come down here and let's say JPEG. Okay, we're going to say JPEG. Okay, the kind of image we are saying is JPEG. Then we have to declare the width and the height. The width and the height of that particular image. So how we want it to be once we screenshot it, let's declare the height and the width of the image. So let's say let's just declare, if you like, you can declare 00 here, but let me say 10, all right, and let me say 50 as the height. Okay, so having done that, so the next thing we have to do now is that we want to save it. We want to save the PDF. So now we have to come down here. We're going to say pdf.save. Okay, pdf.save. Then what do we want to save? So we have our back tips here. Then I'm going to say the name of the file we want to save is the download file. Don't forget that is the download file name. Is a props as well that will be receiving. So that is, we are calling it download file name. All right. So the next thing we now have to do is this. So let's just come down here and let's have our HTML button here. So let's just say we have a div here. Let's say we have a div, and inside this div we want to have a button here. Let's say button. Okay, let's say button, normal button. Let's say download. Okay, let's say download page. All right, let's say download page. So don't forget, here we are going to pass our on click. Here we say on click. On click, then on click we discuss what this is the function we want to trigger. Once they click this download button, we want to trigger this particular function. Okay, now let's come here. Okay, so let's come here and pass this here. Okay, download file. So anytime this download page is clicked, this button is clicked, we want to trigger this function. So let me save here now. So we have to come inside our app.js. This is where we want to show the this is where we want to the particular page we want to download. So this is where we are going to do it. So let me quickly write some basic HTML code there. Let me just come here and okay, let me just go online here and look for a long words. Let's say Lauren. Okay, and look for a long text. Yeah. So let me just copy all of this text here. I mean, maybe not all. Anyway, let me just copy some of this text here and copy it. So let's go back to our VS Code. So let's have a p tag here for that. P tag. So inside this p tag, let's just paste what we just copied the other time. So let me save so that's going to be well formatted. All right, so this is what is going to be on our page. So this Lauren text here. So that's what's going to be on our page. So this download page, don't forget, is the button. So and at this moment we need to pass two props inside this download page, because we are already receiving these props here. That is the root element ID and the download file name. All right, so the next thing we have to do is that let me remove this class name here. Okay, let me just leave it anyway. So we have to pass this ID here. So what is the ID we want to pass? So the ID we want to pass here is let's call it download page. Download page. Okay, let me see. Okay, it's accepting this guy here. So let's call it okay, so now we need to have an ID here. So let's give it the ID. Let's call it page to download. Okay, page to download. So that's the name of our ID. So now this guy is accepting two props. So what are the props here? So let me just come down here and copy this here. So let me paste this. So this guy is because to this ID we just create here. So it's because to this ID. So and what is this ID? We call it page to download. Okay, so we call it page to download. Then we have another one. What is going to be the download file name? So let's call it test page, or maybe download page, depending on what you want to call it. Okay, so let's call it test page. All right, so this is the props. This root element IDs accepting this download page. Yeah, let me see, do we need to put it inside this curly bracket? I don't think that's necessary. This is a string. Okay, I don't think that's necessary. So let's put this here and let's save now. So let's go back into our browser and let's see what is happening. So you can see now we have our text here. So let me click on this download page and let's see what is going to happen. So when I click on download page, so as you can see now, beautiful. When I click on download page, this guy is asking me if I want to save the file. So look at the name, testpage.pdf. This was the name we give the name of this file inside our code, test.pdf. testpage.pdf. Okay, let me click on OK because I want to save. Let me click on OK. So it's done downloading. Let me open it now and see what's happening. You can see now what is loaded file. You discover that this particular page is cut. So we are going to solve that because it's because of the width that will give it. The width is too small, so it's going to contain this particular text. So now let's quickly go back to our code and let's make some modifications to that. So let me just put these guys to 0, and let me put this guy to 0 as well, and let me save. So let's go back here now. Let me close this guy. So let me click on this download page and see what is going to happen again. It's asking me to save. I want to save it. So once I click on save, so let's come back here and open it. It's not still good. The width is too much. So well, what you can do is that you can either change this guy to A3 to make it bigger, or you can change this guy to landscape. So let's try A3. So and let's see what is happening there. Okay, let's go back to our browser. Let me close this guy. Let me click on download, save. So let me come up here and see. Yeah, I think it's a little bit better. I know the reason why it's like this is because we didn't style this our text. It's occupying the whole space. So that's why it's looking like that. So let's say, for example, if you style it and you reduce the width of this particular text, it's going to download the page very well. So this is just the process. What I'm just trying to do is just to show you examples of how you can download any web page in the React as a PDF. So guys, I believe you've learned one or two things from this tutorial. So if you have any question or anything you think you did not any challenge, don't worry, just feel free to drop your question, anything, your comments down to the comment section. So I'm going to respond to every of your questions and every of your inquiries. So guys, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this particular tutorial. So please, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel as a payback because you've learned one or two things, kindly hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification button as well, so that anytime I upload interesting video like this, you'll be the first person to get the notification. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. I'm see your host, see your friends, see your brothers TV. See you guys in my next video. Thank you.